Hi, this is Andrew, and I wanted to discuss a point that came up in relation to depression and the pattern of depression. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about my experience and what I've realized in terms of how I create depression. And so basically, over the last it's been a while, slowly sort of manifesting and creating my world, um, to eventually now end up within this point of depression that is now like quite overwhelming. And so, it didn't happen overnight. It took some time. And but it's quite interesting to even see that. And I wasn't seeing that at all. I was experiencing a point of powerlessness, like this depression was here, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to deal with it, like I was trapped in it, in a way, you could say. And that kind of shifted um, as this realization came through in terms of what does it mean to take 100% responsibility for oneself. So basically, what I realized was that, first of all, I wasn't taking responsibility for the depression. Um, and in a way, I didn't see myself as the creator of the depression. It was almost like it just happened to me. Instead of taking or realizing that I'm responsible for my experience of me, no one else is. No one else created the experience of me. I created it all myself. So I just have to look at, what thoughts I was participating with, what actions I took, because I created the whole thing myself. And so it was quite interesting to all of a sudden sort of realize that point of, shit, I created it all, and yeah, simply from the perspective that I'm 100% responsible for the experience of me. And my world, I'm creating my world, and so I created this point of depression, everything about it. Um, you know, where I'm currently living, where I'm situated, where my room is, what's in my room, my patterns and habits of getting up in the morning, um, the thoughts that I'm thinking and have been thinking. So I see this point as something that I actually kind of developed over time. It's like it didn't just happen, but I've been busy sort of creating this point and bringing myself into this point of depression. And and what's funny too is that, okay, if I look at how did I create this point? How did I create this and manifest this in my world? Because that's a question that I wasn't asking myself. I was standing in separation from the whole point of depression and not even realizing that I could ask myself that question, that I was the one that actually created everything. Um, so I was not seeing that point, that I was the one who created the depression and the experience around me. Um, so it's interesting because now it's more clear when I look at it, because the experience was so saturated. It was me completely. It was my world. It was inner and outer. Everything was this point of depression. So in terms of understanding how I created it and what I can do to continue existing with it is simple. I just continue doing exactly what I have been doing. Now, I didn't enjoy the experience of it. Um, so to change, in a way, you can just look at it in terms of, okay, don't do that, which you know leads and is a part of this point of depression, and you know it because you're currently living that out right now in your world. Um, you know, just simple patterns, laying in bed for that extra 5 minutes, or going to sleep at a particular hour. The thoughts that occupy your head as you're falling asleep, the way you sit, um, basically taking responsibility for everything, and the reference point is this life and my exact and entire participation as the whole expression of me, because that is what has created this entire point. Um, so I just wanted to discuss that and bring that point up because it was a cool point of realization um, that came through. And yeah, so I wanted to share that